Hi, friends. My name is Chris Wilson, and as I mentioned in the email, I hope you both got yesterday, I'll be instructing you over the course of this next semester in the civil rights um, topic that we're going to be looking at as part of your social justice initiative. So I'm really excited to be able to work with you. I hope you understand my email where I'm just inviting you if you have questions about any of the details about the semester to contact me. It's fine to text me if it's a little bit more expedient for you. I check my text a lot, my email, so send me a message if there's something you don't quite understand or you want clarity on. I want to take just a really quick minute to introduce myself a little bit more, look through the syllabus, and then give you guys some direction as to kind of next steps. So, um, I actually went to Kingswood some 20 years ago. I'm from New Brunswick originally. My wife is also from New Brunswick. In fact, she was born and raised in Sussex, New Brunswick. He doesn't teach there anymore, but Mike McNeil, who used to be the professor there in the program that you guys were connected with, he's my father-in-law. So my wife is his oldest daughter. So just a little bit about me. My wife and I, we have two kids. We've been pastoring for 20 years now almost, and we've been in the US, Indianapolis. We were in upstate New York. Now we're in Vancouver, British Columbia. So we came back to Canada. We're out on the West Coast. Why I can't be with you in person, obviously. And we have been in the Wesleyan Church for most of that time, but recently, when we came out to Vancouver, I say recently, it was like 6 years ago. Our most recent pastorate out here is part of a denomination called the Mennonite Brethren Church. And so evangelical, but more in the Anabaptist stream, if you know anything about that. My wife and I, as I mentioned, we pastor together. And so we are both the co-pastors of this church. Now we have other staff under us, but we have always led together, kind of a unique different thing. So quite literally, we're the lead pastors and we share the pulpit. And we're part of a network of churches. So we have a couple churches within the broader Vancouver area, almost like a multi-site, but just a little bit different. We don't carbon copy exactly what we do. We let each church describe itself in a way that makes sense to its community through worship or whatever. So yeah, like Vancouver is a super, super diverse city. In fact, behind me, this is in our lobby, but this is a map of the world. And what we do is anytime we discover that someone is coming to our church that was born and raised in a country around the world, we take little pins. I'll see if I can grab one here. And like this is Mexico, right? And so, we find out someone from Mexico comes to our church and we pop it in there. So it's one of the cool things about being in a like really global city like this is that it's very diverse, and the local church expression that we've been seeing build around here is diverse, like our city. And it's a really beautiful thing. I think right now we have 38 countries represented in all 6 continents. So just it's one of the pros of living out here in Vancouver. Really cool. So that's a little bit about our church. If you have any follow through or questions, please feel free to ask. But it's really really neat experience. Okay, here's what I want to do. I'm sharing my screen right now, so I want to just look at the syllabus really quickly. I won't go into too many details because I think most of it's self-evident. But this kind of shows you, oh, glad I spelled that right. This shows you a little bit about the course, the objectives, all that stuff. The course textbooks very very small. Okay, so like I don't want you being drowned in reading. Um, of course, we'll look at some scripture more on the front end. But the 2 books we're really going to lean into is Walter Wink. He has something called Jesus Nonviolence. Let me tell you, that is a tiny, tiny book. You could read that whole book in like 3 hours. It is very, very small. This will be particularly important for your final paper. So I suggest you utilize that. It'll be a great resource for you. The second one is by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I Have a Dream. And really, they're just different writings and speeches he's had over the course of his ministry. When we get into the early civil rights movement, he'll be very important. And we'll look at a few of these together. Here's kind of like the due dates. So we're asking you that you read both those textbooks and that you do that by the date set right there. We do have one big paper and it's like a biblical analysis paper on what equality and reconciliation can look like. There's a lot of talk today about reconciliation. And what I want to look at or hear from you is I want you to look at it from a biblical lens, okay? Based off of what you've seen in the course, what you've read in your text, and specifically what Scripture points us to, especially as we get through the New Testament. What does real reconciliation look like? Christ-like reconciliation look like? And so that will be that. There will also be about halfway through in March, kind of like a presentation. And so you're going to have a bunch of different subjects to choose from. And I'm actually going to flip down to here to give you what this looks like. It's like a 15-minute presentation. Be awesome if you had like a little slideshow and you record it and send it to me. But here are the different subjects it can be on. And really, I just want you to do a deep dive. I want you to research. If you're looking at like something like the Ku Klux Klan, I want you to look at where did it come from? Why do they have their ideology? What is their ideology? What's some of the history? Like, what did they do? Are they still around? You should be able to find a lot of material on that. And you should also be able to find, like pictures, like all this stuff is super well documented. So there's like a bunch of options here. And if you don't see something on this list, but you're like, hey, I'm really interested in this subject, text me because you do have to get approval for your subject. And if it's something unique and I think it fits, we'll go with that instead. Okay, so that's what that will look like. And then what was the last thing? Really, the two projects and the readings are the big thing. Oh, and class participation. So by that, I mean, I'm going to probably make a few videos throughout the semester that explain the next series of readings and videos that you'll be watching, okay? And usually at the conclusion of that video, I'm going to have kind of like a mini assignment for you to do. So with that assignment, I'll be asking a question or I'll have you read something. So write that down, record yourself, send it to me. But there are things that they're not things that are like being graded upon. It's more like, what is your opinion? So really it's low-hanging fruit. Just what do you see? And then we'll be able to dialogue off of that. Right here, you see kind of how it breaks down through the months. We're going to get started almost immediately in that. And we're going to be looking kind of at the biblical framework before we get anywhere. So leads me to this first thing. I'd love for you guys to record a video of yourself and send me, I want to know a little bit about your story, who you are, because, I'm not in the campus, so I don't get to see you. Who are you? Tell me a little bit about the story. What are you studying? What are your hopes for ministry? Things like that. And what are you hoping to get out of the course? If you have a question for me, I'll answer it back. And then you can expect to see another video from me in the next few days after I get your videos. And I'll kind of start the whole layer of what we'll be looking at. Okay. I hope to hear from you soon. If you have any questions, go ahead and write me. Thanks. Sorry.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.